Taking them a while to heal up. Joshua, who is the captain, who is the general, Joshua is already covered. He leaves the camp and go and spy out Jericho.
Yes.
They're healing up. The leader, that's what good leaders do, they go out front. The leader goes out and he's surveying the land. He's doing his maneuvering. He's CIA, Green Beret. He's out there maneuvering because he's got to conquer this whole land. So while these guys are healing up, the army is healing up, he's spying out the territory. He knows that Jericho is the first city. Okay, let's see if I got some good Bible students here. Jericho is the first city, so he's moving through, so let me go check out Jericho. And he gets close, he looks up and he sees the wall, and he says, oh, let's see if I can get you right here. It's still there. Okay, scoot up a little bit. That scene is familiar with Jericho, because with Joshua, because 40 years prior to this, Moses sent out the 12 spies to spy out the land of Israel. Joshua was one of the spies. He had already seen the city. As a matter of fact, in Deuteronomy, the report was, we have seen walled cities whose top appears to reach to heaven. They had seen the high walls. Now Joshua is out there, who's now leading the people because Moses is dead. He looks and he sees the city. Oh yeah, it's still there. But now as he's out surveying the territory, he sees a figure. Y'all stay with me right here. He sees a figure that he's headed to Jericho, and he sees a figure of a man who's coming out of Jericho. And with the man coming out of Jericho, he's got his sword drawn. Joshua sees him. Now Joshua is a fighter. Joshua says, I'm not going to get killed out here. If it's between me and you, it's going to be you, not me. Joshua pulls out his sword, sneaks up a little bit, and now he's confronting this figure, and he says, hey, who are you? Are you for us or for our enemies? And this figure that he sees said, I ain't for neither one of y'all. He says, I come as a host of the army of the Lord. Okay, make sure you get that. I ain't on neither one of your side. So when he said that, Joshua realizes now, this is not just somebody from Jericho. Okay, let me fast forward real quick. What he is seeing is a theophany.
Yes, sir.
It is a manifestation of God. I don't have time. I can take you through scriptures where he talks about the host of the Lord. It's the Lord. He's leading his army. So Joshua sees, oh God, Joshua sees the Lord coming out of Jericho when he's trying to get ready to go in.
Hallelujah. Already done.
Oh God, help me preach right there. He sees this figure coming out, and when he asks him, who are you? He says, I'm captain of the host of the Lord. And watch, when he realizes that he's not dealing with a natural man, the Bible talks about it. Joshua bows himself down in worship. He said, I'm come as captain of the host of the Lord. And I now come. Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship and said, what saith my Lord unto his servant? In other words, he realizes that this is the Lord that he is dealing with, and he bows down to worship. I said that the walls fall by submission to God's authority, because Joshua was the one in charge of the army, but now he runs into God. And one of the things that you and I must first learn is simply this: whenever you run into the Lord, you are now second in command. You have got to submit to his authority. If you want the walls to come down, you've got to submit to him. It ought to be some, okay, Joshua realizes that it's something peculiar about this, because when he says, what would you have your servant to do? The man tells him something like this, if you can pick this up. He says, take off your shoes, for the place you're standing on is holy ground. Okay, I know I got some Sunday school people in here. That sounds familiar because that's what God told his daddy in the ministry, Moses, when he was around that bush, take off your shoes. So when he says that to Joshua, Joshua realized, oh, I'm in a holy presence now. Let me take off my shoes and let me bow down and worship him, because I am not dealing with a natural man. The walls fall by submission to God's authority. I give you another cue. That's why I had you to read on into chapter number 6, because when you got to chapter number 6, verse number 2, in the story, it says something like this. The Lord said to Joshua.
That's right.
So it comes on out and just say it, don't it? The Lord said to Joshua. So it was not just a man, it was the Lord depicting himself as a man. Now watch this, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can catch on to this. This is powerful. How the wall's going to come down? By submission to God's authority. What do we notice about the man? He had his sword drawn. You don't draw your sword unless you're involved in battle. Where is the man coming from? He's coming out of Jericho. The man is not a natural man. He's a spirit being. Joshua is natural. So Joshua submits to him because what Joshua really wants is what the man has already accomplished. This man had come out of, watch it, saints. I'm going to have to hold my room. I'm going to have to shot right here. This man comes out of the city of Jericho with his sword drawn. Joshua sees him. He's coming out when Joshua is trying to get in. God opens up his eyes and allows him to see in the realm of the spirit. What he saw in the realm of the spirit is this. I wish I had some quiet up here right here. While he was trying to figure it out, the Lord had already worked it out. The Lord had already won the battle, but the Lord had won the battle in the spirit realm because the wall was still up. But just because your wall is still up don't mean that the battle is already lost. God will first do it in the spirit, and then you submit to him, and you see the manifestation in the natural. I wish I had somebody listening at the preacher tonight. So can I tell you, perhaps some things have already broken loose in your life. Perhaps your child has already got saved. Perhaps the deliverance has already come to your marriage. Perhaps deliverance has already come to your job. Maybe it's already happened in the realm of the spirit, and now you need to see the manifestation in the natural. So watch it now. Watch it. So how's Joshua going to get to this? Because the whole idea is Joshua needs what this man has already done. Yes. I need to see it in the natural. And you've already done it in the realm of the spirit. And thank God that every now and then God will give us a glimpse behind the scene. And that's sometimes what the prophetic voices, some of these prophetic voices up here on the pulpit do. God sometimes will give insight to see in the realm of the natural. So you might hear somebody tell you to go ahead on and praise him. Thinking, but I'm still sick in my body. Go ahead on and praise him. I'm still hurt. Go ahead on and praise him. Don't look like my husband or wife has changed yet. Go ahead on and praise him. Why? Because maybe we see something in the spirit that you've not saw the manifestation of in the natural yet. But if you just go ahead